action between both Thunderbird and Shadow Mountain here in Phoenix. Kobe Bronstein and Ella Walter Sanchez along with you on the Varsity Sports Show. Ella, this is going to be a great game between two teams in the same division within 4A, and also both teams haven't played each other this season. Thunderbird is coming off of a victory, Shadow Mountain off of a loss.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game, and both teams are 0-1 in sectional play this year, so it'll be interesting to see who will break that record.
Absolutely. Again, we'll go through some of the teams also in the 4A Skyline Division in terms of Moon Valley, Yuma, Paradise Honors, and Surprise, as well as Greenway, as we're going to head to a quick break, but after first pitch, after the break.
This is Ella Walter Sanchez for the Varsity Sports Show, and I'm here pre-game with Coach Farnsworth of the Shadow Mountain Matadors. Coach, you and Thunderbird have a very similar record. How are you going to come on top today?
We just need to play some good baseball. We need to hit the ball, score some runs, play good defense. We just need to get back to playing good baseball.
And in your last game, you had an unfortunate shutout. How are you going to get those bats going tonight?
Just try and be aggressive. Yep, try and be aggressive and get some runners on base early and see if we can't push a couple runs across.
Perfect. Good luck, Coach. This is Ella Walter Sanchez signing off. This is Ella Walter Sanchez for the Varsity Sports Show, and I'm here pregame with Coach Jacobs of the Thunderbird Titans. Coach, great win against Agua Fria. How are you going to take that win and bring it into today's game?
Try to carry some of the momentum offensively from yesterday. We had some good at-bats at the dish, and just like to see some of those same approaches today against a good Shadow Mountain team.
Perfect. That's all I have for you. Good luck, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. About to get started here with the very first pitch between both Thunderbird and Shadow Mountain. Once again, the overall record for the home side Titans, 3-6 overall record. Have not played a game in the 4A Skyline Division, or actually check that. They did play a game yesterday, 5-2 victory at Agua Fria. So far, their team batting average as a whole bumped it up to 232. Previously came into yesterday's game at 225. Their team ERA 7.52 as opposed to the national average of 5.26. Again, Kobe Bronstein and Ella Walter Sanchez with you on the Varsity Sports Show. Going to go through some of the lineups for both sides. Ella, what do we got so far in terms of the batting order for Shadow Mountain?
For Shadow Mountain, we have number 10, Jackson Wren, starting off in right field. Number 6, Jack Zonner, starting off at shortstop. Number 3, Joey Mine, starting as their pitcher. Number 7, Trenton Seibert, starting at first. Alex Forum, number 1, as their designated hitter. Liam Marshall, number 4, as their catcher. Number 8, Mario Loyola at third base. Robert Cowbell at left field. And Andy Chaplick at second base, as we have the first pitch coming across as a ball.
Underway here at the home of Thunderbird Titan Baseball. 1-0 count here. Leadoff batter for Shadow Mountain, as Ella already mentioned, Jackson Wren, the right fielder for the Matadors. Gaudier in the windup. That ball's going to be caught into right field, however. A line out to Andrew Cohill for Thunderbird for the first put out of the day. It was a hot shot off the bat of Jackson Wren, but found that pitch and was very aggressive at the plate quickly. One down so far for Shadow Mountain. In the 2 spot here at the plate, batting for the right side, Jack Zonner. Gaudier in the windup, swing and a miss from Wren. Good heater right down the middle to the catcher behind the dish for Thunderbird and Zach Primacow. We'll go through the lineup in the infield and outfield after this delivery from Gautier on the 0-1. That ball sent high and deep in the air, shallow center field. Under it to make the catch for Thunderbird is Chase Benson for out number 2. So at first base for Thunderbird, we got Noah Anderson, number 7. At second base, Austin Coates. Shortstop, Matthew Hornberg. At third, Hunter Donathan. And from left to right in the outfield, in left field, and primarily playing left field today, not hitting, is Caden Lotopoulos, as Gaudier delivers a ball low and outside. And then in center field, we have Chase Benson, who already made the catch for the second out of the inning, as that pitch goes outside again, count now 2-0. And then in right field, rounding out the lineup, is Andrew Cohill. already got to catch himself. 2 flyouts so far by the Matadors. The 2-0, that one smashed through the infield for a base hit into center field. It's Joey Mine, the pitcher who we're going to see in the bottom of the first, take the mound. But first, he reaches first on a single.
It's interesting that he's their pitcher, but he's also the team leader in batting average and gets a single.
Absolutely. You got to be as versatile as you can, especially at the high school level. And if you're looking to play college ball, if you have the ability to pitch and hit, you're going to be recruited by a lot of schools. Pitch from Gautier catches the inner half of the strike zone. Get back ahead in the count 0-1. There are 2 away. Hornberg and Anderson both flew out into the outfield. Brisk lead at first from Mine. The pitch, that one's sent but caught at shortstop. Nice catch that time by Matthew Hornberg to end the inning. So not exactly 1-2-3 for Thunderbird, but they're able to get out of the inning with a 0 on the board for Shadow Mountain. 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Don't go anywhere on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello everyone, this is Sammy Kayla from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Today I will introduce you to a rising sports league here in Phoenix, Arizona, the Arizona Sports League. The Arizona Sports League is the largest company for recreational sports in the state of Arizona. This is a place where kids, adults, and people of all ages come together and play for fun. The Arizona Sports League hosts hundreds of sporting events around the Phoenix metropolitan area every year. The company's most recent event was the Scottsdale Volleyball Open on March 2nd. I had an opportunity to speak with Arizona Sports League director Adam Thawell, and this is what he had to say about that day's festivities.
Yeah, I think it's the mission that the Sports League started out with is provide an outlet for youth and adult players to come out in a recreational environment, get active, and also the part of it that is bringing people together and actually participating in sports is another part of our charity, which also then we can give back. So the leagues are successful, the tournaments and the events are successful, then we can give back to the community through our charity. So we have a charity outlet, we do back to school shopping, we do stuff at Thanksgiving. So it's kind of one hand washes the other, a little bit of both. And as the Sports League grows, we're able to do more on that side.
In addition to Thelwell, I was also able to interview Arizona Sports League coordinator Fraser Levier. Levier was able to back up Thelwell's comments by saying that the overall mission of Arizona Sports League is to bring communities together and create a bond. What are you hoping to accomplish with this event, and how are you able to resonate with the community?
Yeah, I think we just want people to stay out, be active, get outside, especially with, just a few years removed from COVID. It's great that we can kind of get outside again, enjoy each other, bring people out of the houses, get off the couch. So it's great. Everyone just comes from all over town, have some drinks, play some volleyball. It's a good time.
Would you say that volleyball is one of your more successful events compared to other sports?
No, I think we have a ton of successful events. They're all kind of equal. We have our huge soccer tournament.
Welcome back on the Varsity Sports Show. About to get underway at the bottom of the first. Joey Mine on the mound for Shadow Mountain. Already 1 for 1 on the day as a hitter in the cleanup spot for Shadow Mountain. First pitch right down Broadway for strike 1. So Joey Mine on the mound for Shadow Mountain. But let's go through the starting lineup for Thunderbird. Here in the box, a leadoff hitter, Matthew Hornberg, the shortstop, already making a nice catch for the final out at the top of the first as he takes low for ball 1. After him, Noah Anderson playing first base. Batting third, Chase Benson playing center field. And in the DH spot, and only the DH spot, he will not be in the field, Alex Meza. After him, Andrew Cohill as the fifth hitter. Here's the 1-1 from Mine. Ball's popped up into the netting, and we're going to get a 1-2 count here to Hornberg after Andrew Cohill in the fifth spot. Batting 6, Austin Coates playing second base. 7, 8, and 9, Hunter Donathan, Zach Primicow, and Adam Gautier, the pitcher, who got through a clean inning of work already in the top of the first. And the primary left fielder today is Caden Latopoulos. Mine taking his time. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 rather. Outside, leveling the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shadow Mountain defensively playing at normal depth in both their infield and outfield. The 2-2. Fouled back into the catcher just to the left of the Shadow Mountain dugout. We're going to get another 2-2 delivery here on the first at bat to Matthew Hornberg. 3-6 overall record for the home side Titans. Shadow Mountain 4-6. Once again, a 4A Skyline Division matchup. 2-2 offering high and away for ball 3. Gonna get a full count payoff offering here from the pitcher Joey Mine. And after Hornberg, once Noah Anderson comes up to the plate, we'll go through defensively the lineup for Shadow Mountain. The payoff, that one's chopped over to shortstop, fielded onto first to clip him just by the skin of their teeth there. Nice catch at first from Trenton Siebert, and there's one away here. So for Shadow Mountain, the aforementioned Trenton Siebert at first, at second, Andy Chaplick. Shortstop, Jack Zahner. At third, Mario Loya. And left to right in the outfield, in left, Robert Caldwell. In center field, Colin Romino Shanahan. And in right is Jackson Wren. Here's the first baseman, Noah Anderson. First pitch, swing and a miss at the plate. Good heater. Center cut over the plate from Mine. Mine fanning the glove over his face. Is the southpaw pitcher for Shadow Mountain. That pitch low and outside in the dirt. Level of count at 1 ball and a strike. One away here. You just saw Matthew Hornberg ground out to shortstop to start the bottom of the first here for Thunderbird. Here's an even offering from Mine. Big swing and a miss at the plate. Good off-speed cheese that time from Mine. First off-speed pitch we've seen a lot of heaters hitting a couple different zones in terms of the strike zone. And he's working ahead of the batter, Anderson here. About to get in his 1-2 delivery. Here's the pitch. Lose a little bit of the location on that one. Falls inside to level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. No one on base. Mine not working in the stretch. The 2-2. High and inside. Are going to get another payoff here from Mine at the plate. So he's working the batters, throwing some strikes. Good eye at the plate from both Hornberg and Anderson here at the plate if you're Thunderbird. The payoff. That one's chopped high in the air to left field. Making the catch for Shadow Mountain is Robert Caldwell for the second out of the inning. Anderson doing a good job of fighting off some pitches. Driving one the other way in the left field, but caught again that time by Shadow Mountain. So 2 up, 2 down for Joey Mine so far. Through 2 batters, and the center fielder Chase Benson in the batter's box. Takes a strike, center cut over the plate. Another fastball. That's the pitch that Mine's been working with so far here in this first inning. Couple foul balls. Already 2 full counts so far. Looking to get further ahead as the 0-1 does catch the inner black of the strike zone. And it's Mine ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Andy Chaplick at second base playing in the short infield grass at second. Here's the 0-2. Just outside for ball 1. Mine gets the signs, goes through the windup, the 1-2. Fouled off the cage. And we're going to get another delivery here at 1-2. Ella, so far we've seen 1 off-speed pitch from Mine, but what have you seen with that fastball? He's been able to hit a couple locations.
Yeah, I definitely think he's been able to work his fastball great. I mean, especially with Noah Anderson at that last at-bat, he's leading the Titans in batting average, and he leads in just about every single offensive category. So he definitely took that and has been using it very well across the board.
Mine missing on the last pitch, the 2-2. That one's fought off over to first. Throws it onto the pitcher, Mine, but he's not able to beat out Benson at first. Good hustle down the line from Chase Benson. He's able to reach on an infield single. That was hit towards the short grass in right field. A good backhanded stop at first by Trenton Seibert, but not able to beat out Chase Benson after throwing it on to the pitcher Mine. Big lead at first already also from Benson as he retreats. That pitch all the way to shortstop. Underhand flip to second, and that will do it in the bottom of the first. 0-0 score here at Thunderbird. We're going to head to a break on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hi everyone, this is Alyssa Firestone from Arizona State University reporting with the Varsity Sports Show, here to highlight some news within the world of gymnastics here in the Valley. The trampoline and tumbling elite team at North Valley Gymnastics in Phoenix has been preparing hard the past few weeks to compete at their meet this weekend, the Winter Classic Invitational in Oklahoma City. I got the opportunity to interview with Sarah Shahidi, one of the team members competing. Shahidi explained that the team has been doing a series of drills each practice to get ready.
So for this competition, we are pretty much drilling numbers of routines until meet day.
She added that after each practice, they are to go into ice baths to help aid with recovery.
Every single day after practice, we go outside and we fill our tub up with water from our hose and then ice. And we go in 2 at a time so the ice stays cold and it helps with recovery for muscles and back.
Shahidi explained what she is most looking forward to about the meet.
For this competition, I'm most excited about having the opportunity to qualify for Olympic trials and national championships.
Thanks for listening to today's halftime show for Varsity Sports. I have been Alyssa Firestone reporting.
Welcome back on the Varsity Sports Show. About to get underway in the top of the second. Zeros on the board so far through one frame. Gauthier doing a good job through one frame. That time throws it well inside, and he's already behind in the count. 1 ball and a strike. Rather, 1 ball and no strikes. To Alex Forkham, the primary DH today for the Matadors. That pitch catching the inner black for strike 1. Good job of leveling the count on the mound from Gauthier. Allowed just 1 hit in the top of the first. Got a couple flyouts into the outfield in the 2 prior at-bats. Here's the 2-1. Almost gets him to chase, but bumps the count to 3 balls and a strike. Or did he? No, he did chase, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. Umpire said yes, he did go to Alex Forkham, the DH. 2-2 from Gauthier. That one's fought off towards the Shadow Mountain dugout. We're going to get another 2-2 offering here from Gauthier.
Forkham leads the Matadors in on-base percentage. That was really loud.
Swing and a miss from Forkham. That's the first strikeout for Gauthier on the mound. 1 down here in the top of the second. Saw a lot of variety that time on the mound from Gauthier. Changeup, curveball. That time gets him on the changeup. So down goes Alex Forkham, and that brings up Liam Marshall, the catcher for Shadow Mountain. First pitch from Gauthier, off speed, right down the middle for strike 1. Started high, looped in right over the plate beautifully from Gauthier. 0-1 high and inside for ball 1. So Thunderbird 3 wins on the season to 6 losses. Their last time out, able to get their 3rd win of the season against Agua Fria yesterday. As Marshall lays off that pitch to bump the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. They lost on March 6th, 18-0 to Mingus. Mingus looking like a great team from Cottonwood, Arizona, also in 4A. Marshall fouls it back up to the netting to level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And then also for Shadow Mountain, their last time out yesterday, they lost to Greenway 6-0. Big matchup in 4A, and that drops Shadow Mountain to 0-1 in the division. Big cut on and miss that time, but he just barely got a tip of it. And we get another pitch here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. for Thunderbird. Again, that victory yesterday at Agua Fria, 5-2, their third of the season. And before that, losing 5-0 here at home to Flagstaff. Great pitch from Gautier. Gets him out in front. Make it 2 strikeouts through 2 batters here in the top of the second for Thunderbird. Again, now a good variety so far from Gautier on the mound. Got him that time with a curveball, and the first at-bat blew it right past him with a fastball. Now we have Mario Loya, the third baseman, in the box for Shadow Mountain. Popped up high in the air, going to stay within the confines of the field, and at third base, making the catch, Hunter Donathan to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 in order. Go down Shadow Mountain. We're going to keep it with you heading into the bottom of the second on the Varsity Sports Show. Looking at a graphic that says the score is 0-0, 1 hit on both sides, no errors so far. A lot of clean baseball, both from mine through 1 inning and 2 innings of work so far from Adam Gautier, just allowing 1 hit, and that was the only base runner of the afternoon. It was to this pitcher, steps on the mound, awaiting a catcher to throw some warm-up pitches to in Joey Mine. This broadcast is brought to you, as you see on your screen, by the Varsity Media Foundation. Tune in to our radio show Saturdays, now 9 a.m. 9 a.m. for the first time in a long time. It was previously 8 a.m., so 9 a.m. local time to 11 a.m. locally on KDUS AM 1060. Nationally as well on Sports Map Radio. Once again, Kobe Bronstein and Ella Walter Sanchez with you on the Varsity Sports Show. Ella, this is your first call for baseball. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
I'm a senior in high school, and I'm aspiring broadcast journalist, as all of us interns are at the Varsity Sports Show. And I'm going to be going into Cronkite, where you study currently, in the fall. How's Cronkite?
I love it. It's a familiar place, and obviously you'll be a freshman next year. I'm a sophomore, so I have 2 more years. You still have 4 years of the full college experience, but props to Ella because she's a senior and going through this Varsity Sports Show internship just as I am in college. And this is a great experience, so shout out to Vince DeLicio, RJ Villacourt doing a great job producing, as well as Ben Munawera and John Melendez on camera work today, as we're about to get underway here in the bottom of the second. Joey Mine on the mound. No score so far. And in the box for Thunderbird, and pulling back on that bunt attempt is Andrew Cohill. Cohill, the right fielder, was the player of the game despite that 5-0 loss to Flagstaff this past Wednesday. Shining offensively and defensively, fouls that one off to level the count at a ball and a strike. So you have Cohill in the box. On deck is Austin Coates, the second baseman in the hole. Hunter Donathan, who made the final out of the top of the second at third. The 1-1. Pulling back that metal is Cohill to put the count at 2-1 with no outs here in the bottom of the second. Mine, as he always has, fanned the glove over his face, and the 2-1 delivery. Low and inside for ball 3. Mine already has 3 3-ball counts so far, able to get 2 outs on payoff pitches. This time 3-1, however, with no outs, no one on base to Andrew Cohill. The pitch right down the middle, bumping the count to 3-2. And I caught the interview from Cohill as well. He did it with Sierra Ness, who did a great job color commentating the last game here against Flagstaff. And Cohill said he was the quarterback for this Thunder Mountain football team as he takes a 4-pitch walk, rather not 4-pitch walk, but sees 4 balls go past him and stands on first as the second base runner of the day for Thunderbird. Now in the 6th hole for Thunderbird at the plate, Austin Coates, number 11, the second baseman. And standing on first, just drawing the walk, is Andrew Cohill. The pitch from Mine is well inside. It goes to the backstop, but Cohill doesn't get a good jump on it, retreats back to first. Always got to be aware on your toes. I just heard a fan in the stands, LSA. Got to be aware of everything that goes on. Talking to Cohill, got a lot of speed at first. Already mentioned he's a quarterback for the Thunderbird football team as well. Two-sport star here for the Thunderbirds. Mine in the stretch. Cohill goes. Catcher fires down to second. Well outside is that throw. So it is a stolen base for Cohill. Not exactly as heads up as you can be on the wild pitch, but still stands on second base and in scoring position.
Yeah, interesting how he didn't take it on the wild pitch, but was able to do it the very next.
As he was, Cohill batting .261, and in the box, Austin Coates. 111 so far, a struggle so far for the Thunderbird hitter through 9 games, looking to change that pitch way outside. Cohill, a big jump as he darts for third and gets in there safely, not needing a slide. So it's 2 wild pitches this inning from Joey Mine. Cohill not able to take advantage of the first one. Able to steal and swipe the bag on the next pitch, and then a wild pitch on the one prior from Mine. The 2-1, that one's cracked into left field. It gets down for a base hit. Cohill scores easily, rounding first and heading towards second. Now retreating back to first is Coates. It's an RBI single for Austin Coates, and it's 1-0 Thunderbird. Still no outs here in the bottom of the second, and that was Austin Coates, the recipient of the RBI, the second baseman today for Thunderbird. Mine wants to check on him real quick. Gets back easily. Threw that over to his first base that time in Trenton Siebert. Mine still working in the stretch. Lone guy in first, just with the RBI, and Coates. Oh, delivery, it's popped up in the air towards a pitcher's mound, calling off Mine at first. Seibert able to make the catch. Holding at first is Coates for the first out of the inning. Not exactly taking advantage of that opportunity with the base runner was Hunter Donathan, Ella.
Now, and Coates is not only a second baseman, but he also plays first and is the second in team ERA at 3.85, which is interesting. Tri-position athlete.
Yes, he is. Here is Hunter Donathan. So he goes down and is retired on the flyout in the infield. And now at the plate, the catcher, Zach Primakow, number 12 for Thunderbird. Batting from the right side, still on first, Austin Coates. Pretty sizable lead. 1-0 from Mine. Swing and a miss from Primakow at the plate. Not a lot of velocity on the fastball from Mine, but if you're hitting your spots, that time to the inside corner, you're going to get batters to chase. The pitcher, Adam Gauthier, on deck. And then after that, returning to the top of the order in Matthew Hornberg. Mine a look down to first. The 1-1. Curveball's bunted towards Mine. Able to field quickly. Throws it on to first to get the out. Advancing to second is Coates. But there are 2 away here despite the runner on second in scoring position in Coates for Shadow Mountain. Decent piece of hitting that time from Zach Primakow to move Coates over to second base. There are 2 away, as I mentioned. That brings up the pitcher, Adam Gauthier, trying to put together another run to help him out on the mound. First pitch just outside to the pitcher in Gauthier. Gauthier just an 83 average so far in the season. This is his 6th game at the plate. That one gets away from the catcher for Shadow Mountain. Advancing to third is Coates in the wild pitch. Got to calm down a little bit. If you're Joey Mine, losing control. Did a good job getting 2 outs here, and just one more would get them to escape out of this inning, surrendering just 1 run. 2-0 from Mine's good fastball right down the middle, center cut. Gets a swing from Gauthier, helping his case, moving the count to 2 balls and a strike. Mine in the stretch at third as Coates just 90 feet away from scoring. 2-1, catches the inner black for strike 2. Mine a couple wild pitches, as I mentioned. Doesn't seem phased, however. Going through his normal signs. Just one more pitch or out to potentially get out of the bottom of the second, surrendering just a run. The 2-2. Backdoor slider just missing outside for ball 3. Mine's done a good job in 3-ball counts. Another payoff awaits. The pitch. Outside for ball 4. So now runners on the corners for Thunderbird, and that brings up the leadoff batter in Matthew Hornberg, the shortstop. So extending the inning, doing a nice job is Adam Gauthier, again helping his case on the mound. And that brings in Hornberg, who flew out to right field his lone appearance at the plate. Just a short lead at first from Gauthier. Oh, and he gets in a pickle, throws down to first, and they get the out at second. Oh no, he didn't. He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. Although the umpire didn't see it, they called him out. Oh my goodness. So Shadow Mountain gets out of the inning, perhaps a little bit of an overzealous call on the umpire's part. Didn't have his eyes fixated on the ball after the tag. And Coach Jacobs for Thunderbird certainly wants to talk it over. I think he will with the home plate umpire, it looks like. We're going to keep it with you on the Varsity Sports Show. So after the walk, Gauthier, a sizable lead, took off for second. Mine trying with a pickoff attempt, a good throw at first from Seibert down to the shortstop in Jack Zahner. So will it be the end of the inning, or will the umpires talk it over?
Doesn't look like they want to talk it over.
No.
Looks like the players are coming out for the next inning.
Looks like it. Very interesting. The ball did pop out of his glove. It was pretty blatant as well, but the umpire stuck to the call, so it's still 1-0 here. We're going to head to a quick break on the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Quentin Wilson with the Varsity Sports Show. Today we'll be talking about the Buffalo Bills and how they have been incredibly active, making significant moves to navigate their way under the salary cap. They announced the release of 5 players: Jordan Poyer, Cyron Neal, Deontay Hardy, Mitch Morse, and Nahi Himes. Additionally, former Pro Bowl corner Tre'Davious White is also set to be released with the post-June 1st designation, reported by CBS Sports' Jonathan Jones. In addition to these releases, the Bills have restructured several contracts. Rasul Douglas's contract adjustment will save them $2.5 million against the cap. Furthermore, Von Miller's contract has been reworked to have a base value of a little under $9 million for 2024, with the potential to make $20 million through incentives, resulting in a savings of $8.6 million for Buffalo. Now, the release of Poyer will free up $5.7 million in cap space, while Neal and Morse had salaries of $3 million and $8.5 million, respectively, in 2023. Entering the week with the least cap space amongst all teams, the Bills have reportedly gained over $37 million with these transactions, with an additional $10.2 million to come in June following White's official release. After these maneuvers, the Bills find themselves just a little over $1 million over the cap.
First pitch from Gauthier outside here in the top of the third. An interesting end to the bottom of the second. What did you see, Ella?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. There was definitely, some backlash from the coaches. It looks like the ball goes from the pitcher to the first baseman for the first out. There was definitely an altercation. I mean, you could see that the umpire was still looking at the shortstop when the player slid into second and the second baseman dropped the ball, but the umpires remained insistent on the call, which was interesting.
Yes, they were. Clearly, the ball dropped out of the shortstop's glove, but the inning was ended as a result of that out. And 1 out already very quickly for Gauthier on the mound and this Thunderbird team, helping his cause, able to get on base, but caught in that stealing rundown attempt. It was right down the middle for strike 1. 1-1 count with 1 away here in the top of the third, just allowing 1 hit so far. That was to the pitcher on the side of Shadow Mountain and Joey Mine. The pitch is grounded over to second. Fielding it cleanly on to first for the second out of the inning. Routine 4-3 put out for Thunderbird. Gauthier doing a nice job of getting some pop-ups as well as some ground balls to amount in outs. First pitch from Gautier off speed, gets Shadow Mountain to chase, and he's ahead in the count, no balls and a strike.
You know, it's definitely interesting. I would have loved to hear the conversation between the Thunderbird head coach and the umpire after that call, because I really don't understand why he would have kept his call on that one. But
Yeah, absolutely. There's another umpire here as well behind home plate, obviously, as
yeah.
that ball's tapped over to second again. Not able to make the play that time. And getting to first is Shadow Mountain. So they have a runner on first, extending the inning. Took a weird hop off of the infield grass and not able to make the play for the second consecutive out for Thunderbird is Austin Coates. Not the hardest. It's going to be an E4 on Coates. Definitely could have made the play despite the weird hop. Runner takes off for second base to throw errant off the cleat of Coates. Has his hands on his knees. Got to shake that one off. Probably hurt as the catcher behind the dish for Thunderbird and Premacow fired that down. And it goes down as a stolen base for Shadow Mountain. Coates just walking it off. He was the recipient of the lone run on the board for both sides in the bottom of the second. First pitch from Gautier, second pitch outside for ball 2.
And that was the first stolen base for the Matadors, whereas the Titans have pulled a few already.
Gautier in the stretch, low and outside for ball 3. Hitters count here for Zahner and Shadow Mountain at the plate. The 3-0 strike at the knees inside corner from Gautier. Bumps the count to 3 balls and a strike. The pitch, swing and a miss. Gets it to a full count. Runner on second most definitely will be running after the delivery from Gautier. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the third. Thunder Mountain up 1-0 here. Payoff from Gautier, high and inside for ball 4. Good job from Zahner, the sophomore, to draw the walk. And runners on first and second with 2 away. And now walking up to the plate is Mine, the pitcher.
Not who you want to see on the plate in this instance with 2 runners on base. You can't help but think that Gautier had this inning in the bag as Mine takes a ball. You can't help but think he had this inning in the bag until that error on second, and I think that kind of shook him up a bit.
Misses the mark on the first pitch, the 1-0 delivery. That one smashed into center field for a base hit. Rounding second, trugging on home. Able to score sliding is Shadow Mountain. Advancing to second is Mine. It's an RBI single. He advances to second as well. A runner on third, and Zahner make it 1-1 here at Thunderbird. Joey Mine, second hit of the day, 2 for 2 against Gautier. Both pitchers so far at the plate helping their cause on the mound. And Shadow Mountain may not be done yet. First pitch high and inside that time to Trent Seibert, first baseman for Shadow Mountain. Pitch from Gautier just outside for strike 2. Good job at the plate from Seibert to lay off both those pitches. On fastballs from Gautier. Big leads at both second and third for Shadow Mountain. That pitch is laced up the middle once again. Base hit. Scoring easily is Zahner. Rounding third, heading home, and scoring easily also is Mine. It's a 2 RBI single for Trenton Seibert, and it's 3-1 Shadow Mountain.
Shadow Mountain is pulling quite the 2-out rally here in the top of the third. Sorry.
Yeah, Seibert certainly extending the inning for his squad. Down 1-0. And there was a late inning rally as well that was ended in the bottom of the second for the home side Thunderbird Titans after a controversial out call was made at second base after a player was involved in a pickle. Actually, that player, the pitcher in Gautier, as he checks on the runner at first in Seibert. Alex Forcum, the DH at the plate. After him is the catcher, Liam Marshall. 1-0, that one's hit in the air. Gonna bloop down for a single into center field. Another hit for Shadow Mountain. Standing on second is Seibert. On first is Forcum. Ella, you already pointed to a late inning rally, and it continues here for the visiting side.
Yeah, definitely. 2 more batters, and they'll have a repeat in their lineup for Shadow Mountain. So Gautier and the Titans need to figure something out soon.
And normally something goes wrong defensively for a team if it gets to a certain point where the batting side is able to bat around almost at that point, as Ella mentioned, as the pitcher in Gautier falls behind quickly 1-0. R2 away, but a couple of hits strung along for Shadow Mountain continues this inning as Gautier misses again outside and low for ball 2. Big lead at second from Seibert, and at first is Forcum. The pitch, missing the outer black for ball 3, and the catcher behind the plate for Thunderbird, Freeman wants to have a chat, and the hitters count for Marshall at the plate.
Last time Marshall was up, he had a strikeout, and I'm certainly thinking that's what Gautier wants to do again.
Absolutely, but one more ball would load up the bases. The 3-0, low and outside for ball 4. Not moving the barrel off his shoulders as Liam Marshall, he stands on first. Both runners advance, and the inning continues. Thunderbird allowing all 3 runs on the board so far this inning to amount to a 3-1 lead for Shadow Mountain, and it brings up the third baseman in Mario Loya. Loya taking his time, hasn't been in the batter's box in a second, although the umpire is causing more of the brief delay. Here's Gautier in the 0-0 delivery. Swing and a miss for Loya at the plate. Good location on that fastball if you're Gautier. And ever important also, Ella, right, to get ahead on the count if you're the pitcher. Just one more out to get out of the inning.
Definitely. And they're so close to a lineup repeat.
That ball was smash foul down the third baseline. And continue what you were saying.
Oh, I was going to say, they're so close to a repeat in the lineup that they need to get this out.
Yes, they do. Gautier helping his cause with the 0-2 count. We'll see what he does. Swing and a miss. Good off speed at the plate. Gets Loya out in front to end the inning. But not before 3 runs come on the board for Shadow Mountain. The roadside Matadors taking a 3-1 lead at Thunderbird. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the bottom of the third after the break.
Hello everybody, I'm Alex Schulman with the University of Arizona bringing you your rodeo report for the Varsity Sports Show. Head coaches Charlie and Tracy Buchanan are the newest addition to the U of A rodeo team and are excited for their home rodeo on March 2nd. The Buchanans have been involved with horses since their early years, and Tracy even helped the U of A women's team bring home a national championship in 1984. Charlie talks a little bit about their future goals for the team.
The big goal is I would like it to where we have enough kids where we could win a team national championship or a women's team or a men's team. We got a bulldogger, and he's actually a very good bulldog, a very smart kid in aerospace engineering. So we're just trying to create good young kids, good young adults, and to get better at their skills.
The University of Arizona's 85th home rodeo will be held at the Tucson Rodeo Grounds Saturday, March 1st. Slack will start at 9 a.m. and the perf will start at 2. Admission is $5. I'm Alex Schulman for the Varsity Sports Show, and thank you for listening.
Top of the lineup for Thunderbird, it's Matthew Hornberg facing Mine for the second time. A bunt attempt, goes over to Mine, fields it barehanded, gets it on to first. That was impressive from Joey Mine on the mound for Shadow Mountain. Just talk about briefly the afternoon for Joey Mine, Ella, and 2-for-2 day at the plate. And he's made a couple of great plays to where the Titans want to gain some momentum with bunts, and he's gotten outs both times.
Definitely. He's definitely a versatile player both offensively and defensively and is a great component of this Shadow Mountain team.
Mine draws a foul ball, and it's Anderson that falls behind quickly. No balls and a strike. The lone out, an impressive play on the mound from Mine to collect the grounder barehanded and throw it on to first. 0-1 from Mine, dropping in for a strike at the knees. Looked like a slider as opposed to a curveball. A little more sidewind on that pitch as opposed to up and down movement. Here's the 0-2. Goes with the same pitch, just falling inside around the same location to the knees, and once again laying off of it is Anderson. Still behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Grounded off his ankle towards the Thunderbird, or rather Shadow Mountain dugout to stay alive at the plate, as we'll get another 1-2 delivery. Infield and outfield all playing at their normal depth. No one on base. 1 out. Mine working on a 1-2 count to Anderson. That pitch is flown out deep into left center field. Moving all the way over. Not able to make the catch. It 1-hops to the wall. And it's Anderson going to get in there with a stand-up double. And he's trying to start a rally for the home side Birds.
That's Anderson's 5th double on the year, and he leads the Titans in just about every stat offensively, and obviously you could see that here today.
Yes, you could. 381 coming into the day, 0 for 1, but make it 1 for 2 now after that double, that 1-hop the wall in left center field. Mine checking on the runner, Anderson, little happy feet. Gets back over to second. That's why exactly Mine wanted to check. Anderson, a big piece of hitting to get him to stand on scoring position, rather, at second. Chase Benson trying to work on a 1-for-1 afternoon at the plate for Thunderbird. Big cut on and miss. Good pitch from Mine on an outside fastball to bump the count to no balls and a strike. Matador second baseman Andy Chaplick watching Anderson potentially on a pickoff attempt behind the back of Anderson, as they did once already. As the count now moves to no balls and 2 strikes. Thunderbird 1-6 record at home, 1-1 away. Have not played a neutral site game so far. Started 1-4, and since they've been 1-5 after that. Here's the 0-2 from Mine. Good eye from Benson, laying off the low and outside pitch, and the count's now 1-2. Chaplick watching Anderson very closely at second. The pitch fouled off towards the netting, and we're going to get another 1-2 offering here from Mine. Shadow Mountain 4-6 overall record. Both teams, Thunderbird and Shadow Mountain, playing the 4A Skyline Division. Shadow Mountain started 0-3, but since they've been 4-3, 4-2 before yesterday's loss against Greenway. Fouled off once again. Staying alive at the plate is Benson. Trying to bring the DH Alex Meza in a big spot. Also in the cleanup spot for the Titans, and Andrew Cohill to follow already with a hit on the afternoon. Mine taking his time, got the signs from his catcher behind the dish. Looking at Anderson again is Mine, and you're not going to get a ton of pickoff attempts normally at second base, especially with a lefty on the mound. However, you're going to get some more opportunities as some have some pretty nasty pickoff moves. A lot of the times you'll see it more at first or third. That ball is laced into left center field, and it gets down for a base hit. Anderson scores at second base with a stand-up double as Chase Benson, and he pulls back the Titans into this one, and it's 3-2.
Wow, doubles for the Titans here, and both in the same exact spot in the top of the bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third. You got it. Again, this is Ella's first time. She's doing an awesome job on the call so far. 3-2 lead for the Wayside Shadow Mountain Matadors, Thunderbird clawing back already with a run here as taking off for second. Got to get in there with a head first slide. Heads up, base running from Chase Benson. That's what you like to see from Thunderbird in this first game, or rather not in this first game, but in the first game I saw Thunderbird played last Wednesday. They were just as aggressive on the base pass, and they're doing the same today. As laying off the pitch that time is Meza.
Yeah, they're definitely aggressive on the bases, as we saw last inning with all those wild pitches and stolen bases. They definitely take advantage of the opportunities they're given.
Oh, and that gets away. And scoring is Benson once again. So he swipes third, takes home, both on wild pitches, and we got a 3-3 score here in Thunderbird. Seen a couple wild pitches from Mine, particularly in that bottom of the second, where it was a Thunderbird lead early on. And after 3 runs in the top of the third from Shadow Mountain, it's now 4-3 as that ball's hit the other way towards second, scooping it up, getting it onto first for the out that time. At second base, Andy Chaplick for Shadow Mountain. So just a couple pitches ago, it was Benson standing on second after 2 pitches. After that, able to score. And then Meza retired on the grounder to second. That brings up Andrew Cohill, already 1 for 1 with a single. Strike at the knees outside from Mine. Got to get ahead on these batters. It's very important, especially again with 1 more out. And the lead tied now. Bouncing it in the dirt, and putting the count now to a ball, and a strike is Mine. Coho, the right fielder, again 1 for 1. Austin Coates on deck. Hunter Donathan, the third baseman, in the hole. That one, it's off the helmet of the umpire behind the plate. You just fine shaking it off real quick, and we'll get a 1-2 delivery here after the swing and the miss at the plate from Cohill. Mine taking his time, going through different signs with his catcher. The pitch, backdoor, curveball, strike 3. Gets Cohill down looking. That's the first strikeout for Joey Mine on the mound. We got a 3-3 score here between Thunderbird and Shadow Mountain.
I'm Olivia Hansen from the Grand Canyon University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Last week marked the beginning of spring training for 2024, and it certainly started off with a bang. The Dodgers and Padres kicked it off with a shocking final score of 14-1 on opening night. The Dodgers took down the Padres in this monumental game that started with a 45-minute-long first inning in which the Dodgers scored 8 runs. In fact, Padres player Fernando Tatis Jr. spent the entire 45 minutes mic'd up. Jokes are now going around saying that he might never be asked to be mic'd up again. Regardless, Dodgers fans are certainly not living this win down. Many Dodgers fans even tweeted, 162-0, I've seen enough, implying that the Dodgers are going to go undefeated this season, just after seeing this first game alone. But why are they so confident after this one win? Not only was this a complete blowout of a score, but the score reflected success from a variety of players. Kevin Padlow hit a 2-run bomb in the first inning, but the score reflected hits from 12 additional players. Hence, it seems fan excitement comes from the team-wide success rather than reliance on a single player. In fact, prize trade Shohei Ohtani didn't even see the field this game, meaning fans are anticipating even more success once he is added into the starting Dodgers roster. There's no question that Dodgers fans have an exciting season coming up, but whether or not they will go entirely undefeated is questionable. For now, we just have to get through spring training until their home opener on March 28th versus the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm Olivia Hansen, and this is the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to Thunderbird. Already saw one batter, and he stands on first in Andy Chaplick. Weakly grounded it over to third. A nice play made by Donathan, just not able to clip him in time. Good job hustling and chugging down the line. And Chaplick returning to the top of the order. Here's Jackson Wren. And still Gauthier on the mound, falls behind 1-0. Getting a little bit windy here in Phoenix, Arizona. At the home of the Thunderbird Titans, a bunt attempt in the air, not laid down as well as it could have been, and it bumps the count to a ball and a strike after the foul ball. Get the aforementioned Jackson Wren in the box, the leadoff hitter for Shadow Mountain, playing right field, and Jack Zahner, the shortstop, is on deck. Pickoff move from Gauthier a little bit late that time. And actually, correction, Andy Chaplick now at the plate. And the recipient of the infield single was Robert Caldwell. So Jackson Wren is on deck. Another bunt attempt here to Gauthier. Fields it onto second. They get the force. Not in time at first, so reaching on a fielder's choice is Chaplick. Good job from Gauthier, able to field, fire it onto second to retire the lead runner in Caldwell. Always a tough play, Ella, there that time. On a ground ball into the infield, you want to go to first or second, but able to be cool, calm, and collected and get that lead runner at second.
Yeah, definitely a great idea to go with the force and figure out the first baseman later.
Absolutely. He took off from that pitch. It's hit over to third. Nice scoop made at first by Anderson. Beautiful glove work that time. And that's how the second out of the inning comes. Chaplick able to advance to second, but a highlight reel snag at first on the scoop from the first baseman in Anderson. How about it?
Yeah, definitely some great plays by Anderson, and definitely some also great plays by their third baseman, Hunter Donovan. I mean, there's been some close calls where he hasn't been able to make it, but great plays all around for the infield for the Titans.
Big lead at first, rather second, from Chaplick. The 1-0, that one's hit deep in the air into left field, but right into the glove of Caden Latopoulos. 3-3 score here through 3.5 frames. We head to the bottom of the third, rather fourth, but first, we're going to go to a break on the Varsity Sports Show.
Make every day game day and never miss a moment from your favorite team with the AZ Preps 365 Live High School Sports app. The official app for all Arizona high school sports teams gives fans instant access to up-to-the-minute scores, news, highlights, and much more. Customize the app to fit your needs, whether you're a student, coach, parent, or player. Download it now for free. Available in both the Google Play Store and Apple App Store.
Pup on the run? No problem. With 5 drive modes, Rogue makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get the 2023 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy among gas engines.
You see us every day with our ads about car wrecks. But Lerner & Rowe is much more than just a law firm. We believe in being part of the fabric of the communities where we practice around the country. We are not just a business. We are your neighbors, here to serve and share our love of our community. Lerner & Rowe Gives Back provides food and support for families and community organizations throughout the year. Our hope is that we can encourage other businesses to do the same, so we can build a stronger community together. Lerner & Rowe, more than just a law firm.
Through 3.5 frames here at Thunderbird, 3-3 score. Joey Mine still on the mound. First pitch will outside to Austin Coates, second baseman for Thunderbird today. Already 1 RBI, 1 for 1. Looking to continue stringing along hits here today. One's tap foul towards the backstop. And that moves the count to 1-1. Both pitchers, as I mentioned earlier, in Mine and Gauthier, helping their cause on the mound at the plate with a pair of hits for Mine himself, as well as an RBI, and 1 hit already for Gauthier. And he was caught in a little bit of a controversial rundown at second base to end that bottom of the second. Pitch to Coates, a good one, inside fastball to bump the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield and outfield for Shadow Mountain, playing at normal depth. Mine working as quickly as ever as he gets the signs. And the pitch. One misses outside, gets to the backstop, no one on base. And we're going to get a 3-2 offering here from Mine. Donathan on deck, Pre-Macau, the catcher for the Thunderbird school in the hole. That one's flown out in the air, deep left center field. Not making the catch in and out of the glove, the center fielder getting into second base. And standing up is Coates. That's back-to-back doubles for Coates. He stands on second. And what a way to start the inning if you're Thunderbird.
Yeah, an amazing performance so far by Coates, having that RBI, his first at-bat, and now a double. Great all-around play, and hopefully the Titans can break this tie.
And this is that stretch of batters in both the bottom of the second and third that got them all the runs. Started with that middle half of the lineup and leaked towards the back half as well. And here's Hunter Donathan looking to potentially bring home Coates at second. Donathan 0 for 1 on the young afternoon. First pitch from Mine, low in the dirt. Good stop, though, behind the plate by Shadow Mountain. Bump the count to 1-0. Liam Marshall, the catcher for Joey Mine so far through 3 frames. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Runner on second. That pitch is laced into center field for a base hit. Chugging on home is Coates. He's going to score. It's an RBI from Donathan, and it's 4-3 Thunderbird.
What a great way to start off the bottom of the fourth, breaking the tie, and now we'll see where they can go from here.
Yeah, still no outs. It brings up the catcher in Pre-Macau. This middle half of the lineup heading towards the back half is deadly for Thunderbird. Couple of lead changes, and it's 4-3 Titans. Short lead on first from Donathan, dancing around a little bit. Mine takes a look, delivers down to his catcher and Marshall behind the plate outside for ball 1. Second baseman and shortstop for Shadow Mountain, aware of the potential stealing attempt from Donathan at first. Mine in the stretch, the windup, the pitch. Swing and a miss from Pre-Macau at the plate. Good job from Mine to level the count back at a ball and a strike. Going pretty deep into this outing, not exactly sure his pitch count, but Shadow Mountain certainly trusting that left arm of their pitcher in Mine. Bunt attempt goes back to the fence, and we'll get a 1-2 count here to Pre-Macau. Everyone in the infield and outfield about at normal depth, covering the bag at first base for Shadow Mountain is Cyber, and at third, playing rather short, is Mario Loya. The pitch, another pickoff attempt. High throw, sliding in head first, getting in safely is Donathan. We've seen that a lot from Thunderbird. This time it worked. The last time, well, there was a call that was out, even though it popped in and out of the glove of the shortstop.
Yeah, at least it worked out for them this time. And the ball going all the way into the outfield. Great play, or great fielding, running by the Titans.
Definitely, yeah, high throw by Cyber. That's a situation where it's pretty bang bang. You got to be on your toes and think quickly and act quickly as well. Mine not amused with the ball call there. And it moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're level here. Still no outs. And at second base is Donathan. Already a run on the board here in the bottom of the fourth for the Titans. A 2-2. Foul tipped into the glove of the catcher in Marshall. And it's Pre-McCall that's down on strikes. We'll get our second pitcher versus pitcher matchup in Gautier and Mine here. Entertaining the first time. Mine again already with 2 hits off of Gautier. Gautier with 1. He was caught in the rundown in the bottom of the second to end that inning. Has an opportunity to help his case once again on the mound. Good backdoor slider that time from Mine. Moves the count to no balls and a strike. Second baseman for Shadow Mountain. And Chaplick playing close to the bag. That's why Donathan's able to get back. Thunderbird very aggressive to where, again, you don't see a lot of pickoff attempts in most games at second base, but the Titans certainly keeping the Matadors on their toes. The pitch outside and away for ball 1. Mine going more with the off speed. That time it looked like a changeup missing high and away. And the pitch before that, a slider catching the outer black. 1-1 count, 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth. Swing and a miss at the plate. Another off-speed pitch down and away that time from Mine. No one warming up in the bullpen for Shadow Mountain as well. Not particularly aware of the pitch count for Mine, but Shadow Mountain certainly letting him ride on the bump. Donathan short lead, the 1-2. Upstairs for ball 2. As you see, a 4-3 lead for Thunderbird. 6 hits to 5 hits for Thunderbird. And 1 error for the home side Titans. Decent crowd here behind home plate. Even offering upstairs and away for ball 3. Gautier, the pitcher, certainly taking his time at the plate, Ella, laying off a lot of pretty close pitches.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure he's hoping for another walk like his last at bat, and hopefully he can redeem himself after that hole.
Another check down to second base, no tag. That's Donathan that stands there. He drove home Coates, who started off the inning with a leadoff double to the left center field wall. The payoff, swing and a miss, strike 3. Mine, a sizzling fastball, and he gets it past Gautier. A big out, and make it 2 in this inning for Shadow Mountain.
Yeah, before the fourth, Mine had only had 1 strikeout, but now he has 3. So his pitching is just getting better as he's going, which is interesting because he's been pitching for 4 out of the 7 now.
And he's getting batters to chase himself, especially in the last couple innings, as you mentioned, Ella, as the leadoff hitter Matthew Hornberg's in the box. Look down to second base, the pitch. Fouled off towards the netting above home plate. And the count now is 1-1. Rather, no balls and 2 strikes. And 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. 4-3 Thunderbird. Before it was level at 3. Coates able to score after his double, and then Donathan bringing him home. A look down to second, the offering. Outside and a slider, that time missing from Mine, and it moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chaplick, as he has all game, watching the runners on second base very closely, moving in and out of his position towards the bag and retreating towards normal depth. That one's chopped over to third base. The play is made, and they get the out barely by the skin of their teeth are the Matadors. So they escape down just a run. 4-3 on the Varsity Sports Show. We're going to keep it with you as we head into the top of the 5th, where Gautier is walking out, strutting his stuff towards the mound, and takes the ball for his 5th inning of work. Ella, 4-3. We've seen a couple of lead changes after the Coach leadoff double. Donathan able to bring him home, and Shadow Mountain did a good job with Mine as well on the mound, getting a couple strikeouts and stopping the bleeding for the Titans at the plate.
Yeah, definitely. The last, inning could have been a lot worse than it was, but I think Shadow Mountain is still, able to keep the Titans and their bats to a curb, and we'll see how Gautier can stop Shadow Mountain. And Mine is the first up bat, but it looks like there's going to be a pitcher starting to warm up for Shadow Mountain here coming into the 5th inning.
Yep, we'll keep an eye on that in the bullpen area, all the way in foul territory in right field, but still on the mound on the home side, Titans, is Gautier. Again, this is a 4A Skyline Division matchup. There's a lot of 4A teams, but in this specific Skyline Division, this matchup between Thunderbird and Shadow Mountain, the other teams in the Skyline Division as follows: in Moon Valley from Phoenix, 3-3 overall record for them. Yuma, all the way in Yuma, Arizona, all the way out west towards California, 4-4-1 overall record. Paradise Honors at a surprise with a 5-5 record, as well as Greenway with a 1-4 overall record, but they were able to get a 6-0 victory against Shadow Mountain yesterday, as Mine takes upstairs and away for ball 1. Another pitcher versus pitcher matchup. We saw it last time. Mine able to get the better of Gautier, and Mine already 2 for 2. We'll see if he gets the better of Gautier for a third time. Puts the ball on the ground. Backhanded stop made by Anderson. Can they get the out? Yes, they can. What a play by Anderson. He's been doing that all night, and he gets another out as he's able to flip it to Gautier for out number 1.
Great start to the inning as they're able to stop Mine. In his previous at-bats, he's had a single both times, so it's a great way to start the inning for the Titans.
Good stuff there at first base from Anderson so far. A potential player of the game candidate. That pitch leaks outside this time to Seibert, the first baseman for Shadow Mountain, who's in the box. 1-0 from Gautier, inside and high for ball 2. The DH Alex Forcum stands on deck. Colin Romino Shanahan to follow. It's a fly ball, goes into right field, caught at around knee height from Cohill, but able to corral it for the catch, and that's how we get out number 2 here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, that's that dangerous area between outfield and infield where just like the perfect little blip can get you a single, but he was able to luckily catch that in right field.
Yes, he was, and Cohill made it look particularly easy as well. And he shields the sun in right field. It's very sunny here and a beautiful day in Phoenix, Arizona at Thunderbird. Working quickly as Gautier, already with 2 outs in his 5th frame of work. And he's working on a 1-0 count here to Forcum. The DH takes strike 1. Right down the middle from Gautier. Velocity seems to look about the same as it did in his prior innings. No one warming up for the Titans right now. Fouling it off his foot as Forcum towards the Shadow Mountain dugout. And the count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1, 2, 3 innings have been pretty hard to come by in this game. A lot of runs on the board so far. In a lot of the innings, that ball just missing outside. on a backdoor slider attempt from Gutierrez. Just like his counterpart in Mines, fanning the glove over his face, and the 2-2. High and inside for ball 3. Forkham doing a good job in laying off those pitches right around the strike zone, but confidently keeping the barrel on his shoulders. The payoff. Strike 3. Gets him looking, a backdoor slider. Strutting his stuff. It's Gutierrez. He works through a 1-2-3 inning. It's a 4-3 lead for the Thunderbird Titans. We'll head to a break on the Varsity Sports Show.
This is Ella Walter-Sanchez from Arcadia High School reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. With baseball season starting up at all levels, I wanted to highlight a training center that offers affordable lessons for both baseball and softball nationwide and in the Valley. There are 4 locations around the Valley and 150 nationwide. Today, I'm here specifically at the Scottsdale location located on Talking Stick and Pima Road.
Facility, we have a few different options. Open to the public. We also offer memberships that definitely save some money for you guys. To the public, we're looking at machine. So whenever you walk in, we have automatic pitching machines. We also have private cages that you can reserve in increments of 30, 60 minutes, bucket of balls, tee, L screen. You can take batting practice in there, those sort of things. And then as far as lessons and instruction, we have a handful of baseball and softball instructors, do everything from infield, outfield, hitting, catching, basically anything you're looking to work on.
At DBAT Scottsdale, they offer more than 50 camps, clinics, and classes each year, which is a great opportunity for aspiring baseball and softball players. With spring break coming up, DBATS is offering a spring break camp from the 11th through the 15th for children ages 6 through 12. What is so great about programs like DBATS is they offer versatile options for everyone.
We've been around for a little bit now. The company in general has been around for a while. What's cool about us is we have no affiliation with anybody. So everybody's welcome. You know, we get friends that are just coming in to hang out, hit on the machine. We got people coming in here to work on our craft. And we get a very, very wide range of kids, ages, 4 or 5, all the way up to high school through college. Even some professional guys in the off season. Like we just had some big leaguers in here that just left for camp and everything like that. So we get a wide variety of skills, but end of the day, it's a fun environment, safe environment.
Make sure to visit their website at dbats.com or check them out on Instagram at dbatsports. This is Ella Walter-Sanchez reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Till next time.
Back here at the home of the Thunderbird Titans, a 4-3 lead that they're clinging on to. Joey Mines' day is done on the mound. He moves to center field, and the new pitcher is Jack Zahner. Jack Zahner for Shadow Mountain. A good job for Joey Mine through 4 innings of action, allowing 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. He did well in the early half of the innings, working on 3-ball counts and able to get a couple of outs multiple times in pretty tumultuous situations. First pitch from Zahner downstairs for ball 1. And it's Anderson, the first baseman, with a highlight reel play to get the first out of the top of the 5th. 2 more got them out of the inning. He lays off that pitch to bump the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Chase Benson on deck. Alex Meza in the hole for the Titans. The 2-0, that one catches the outer black for strike 1. Zahner previously at shortstop. He's now pitching. Seibert moves from first to shortstop as well. Good job from Anderson to lay off that pitch, moving the count to 3-1. And at first base, we don't have a name, but number 14 isn't on the Max Preps website, but we'll get the name as soon as we can after the break after this. But before that, Anderson draws a leadoff walk. And that brings up the ever-dangerous Chase Benson, who already has a hit today And he was brought home also in that 2-run bottom of the third. And again, the home side clinging to a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch, catching the outside corner for strike one. Good movement there on that off-speed pitch. Also, just want to mention this game going to 7 innings. I repeat, 7 innings and not a full 9-inning game. So just 2 more full frames potentially if Thunderbird's able to hold on. Runner goes. That pitch is in there for a strike. The throw down to second. He got him. Great throw from Marshall behind the plate for Shadow Mountain. On to Andy Chaplik at second. Anderson retired on the base pass, caught stealing. That's a big out for Shadow Mountain, and also an 0-2 count here for Chase Benson.
Yeah, the Titans have been aggressive on the bases. Not the first time tonight that they've been caught. Great play for Shadow Mountain.
0-2 from Zahner, well outside for ball one. Got to feel a little bit more confident, taking some deep breaths if you're Zahner. Again, this is your first inning of work. And his defense behind him able to do a job in getting the lead runner. The 1-2 fouled back towards the back cage. And we'll do it all over again with the ball and 2 strikes. And also Joey Mine threw 4 innings for Shadow Mountain. And he moved into center field. Everywhere else staying the same. The 1-2 from Zahner. Downstairs and away for ball 2. Zahner for Shadow Mountain, certainly giving the Titans a different look. Mine, a lefty on the mound. Zahner, a righty, also with a much lower arm angle for Zahner. Picking his locations pretty well here early on. 2-2, fouled back once again. Staying alive is Benson. Looking for his pitch over the plate. That time Zahner looking for the inside corner. Infield and outfield playing at their normal depth for Shadow Mountain. 2-2 delivery. That one's popped up. Foul territory. At first, not making the catch is that number 14, the freshman. Don't have his name. And that was interesting. It looked like it hit directly off of the first baseman that time. Not able to make the catch, but just barely foul.
Yeah, great play. He was super close despite, the sun is very bright out here today. Very close play. Luckily for him, it went foul.
He was trying to make a basket catch with his back face towards us in the broadcast booth. That's a hard catch to make. Look reminiscent of the legendary Willie Mays as that pitch sails well outside. And we're going to get another full count offering here. First one from Zahner on the mound. Taking over for Joey Mine in a 4-3 ball game. Anderson able to reach on the walk, but no longer a base runner after he was caught stealing at second on a great throw from Marshall and a tag by Chaplik. The 3-2. That ball sent high in the air. Right field. Moving in foul territory to make the catch for Shadow Mountain is Wren. 2 gone here in the bottom of the fifth. And that brings up the DH and Alex Meza for Thunderbird.
Despite being the designated hitter, Meza really hasn't had that great of a night at the plate. Hasn't made it on base with a fielder's choice 6-3 in the first and a 4-3 in the third. So hopefully he can pull up a hit here in the fifth.
Lays off that high and outside pitch for ball 1. Good season so far for the junior, for Thunderbird, hitting .300 coming into the day. This is his 9th game at the plate in a Titans uniform this season. The 1-0, that one's fouled off the cage, first baseline, and that levels the count at a ball and a strike. Again, Meza in the DH spot after him to follow Andrew Cohill and Austin Coates, already with a great day at the plate in the hole. A single, a double, scored a pair of times too. 1-1 from Zahner, outside for ball 2. That time a fastball. We don't have the miles per hour delivery, but it seems like his velocity is a lot more than Joey Mine, who had some good junk and off-speed pitches when we saw him at the plate. That ball's tapped over to third. Great play made there, getting it on to first. Good scoop for the final out of the inning. So not exactly a 1-2-3 inning. Anderson able to get on base, and he's caught stealing. It's a 4-3 game. Thunderbird Titans lead. Don't go anywhere on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hey everybody, I'm David Lopez out of the University of Florida reporting for the Varsity Sports Show, and I can't wait to tell you guys about a star wideout who's made the move from Arizona to national powerhouse IMG. Raiden Vinesbright, a 4-star receiver who spent his first 3 seasons at Corona del Sol, recently packed his bags and made the trip out to Bradenton, Florida to sign for one of the nation's best football schools. IMG Academy, the 4th-ranked team nationally according to Max Preps, is known for its state-of-the-art facilities and success in breeding top-level college and professional football players. After his team went 3-8 this season and missed the playoffs, with Vinesbright contributing 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns in his junior season, Raiden decided it was time for a change of scenery after 3 seasons at Corona without a playoff win.
I have a friend that's from Arizona that plays for IMG, and so the coach found out about me and told him to text me. It was really just a must. There's just so many benefits to moving out here.
Already recruited by major schools across the country, Vinesbright won't need to boost his stock much by attending IMG. However, it will prepare him for the top-level competition awaiting for him in college.
Development-wise, I kind of made the move to get ready for college, so just become a better player myself, I would say.
Raiden has already received offers from some of the nation's best schools, such as college football playoff champions Michigan, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas A&M, ASU, the University.
Leo Marshall takes a ball. Had a highlight reel play behind the plate when he caught Anderson stealing for the Thunderbird Titans after the leadoff walk. Lays off that pitch, 2 for ball 2. Top of the 6th, a 4-3 lead for Thunderbird. A couple of lead changes, but the home side Titans on top through 5. That pitch upstairs for ball 3. And Gautier still on the mound. Ella and I, as well as the producer RJ, were talking off the broadcast, and they don't have anyone warming up. It looks like they're going to continue to go with Gautier.
No, it's quite surprising, especially considering the fact that in high school we only go to 7 and it's a 6 inning, so quite a day for Gautier.
Not a great start, however, with a leadoff walk to the catcher and Liam Marshall, and that brings up Mario Loya, the third baseman. And again, this game goes to 7 innings, not 9, so Gautier holding on a lead, potentially could close out the game. A good bunt laid down. The catcher going out, fielding, throws it on to first. It's errant. It goes all the way into right field. Loya heads towards second. Stopping at third is Marshall. That is not what you want for Thunderbird and their runners on second and third with no outs. E2. So it's a bang-bang play. It's definitely going to be an E2, however, on the wild throw from Primacau. Yes, Primacau, the catcher for Thunderbird, and Coach Mike Jacobs wants to have a chat with everyone in the infield. Dangerous situation if you're the Titans, Ella. There's a runner on second and third base, and there's no outs.
Definitely, and this is not what you want this late into the game and with this close of a score. They definitely want to wrap this up, and hopefully Gautier can have the game, continue to have the game he's been having, and wrap up the 6th.
Umpire walking out to adjourn this rather short meeting between everyone in the infield, as well as Coach Mike Jacobs trying to settle down his pitcher and Gautier, following the error that brought Loya over to second base, and also taking 2 bags himself was Marshall. So 2 runners in scoring position, no outs, and just 6 more outs potentially for the Titans if they are able to escape this inning and continue to sit on the lead. Oh, and stealing home before the pitch. The throw is down. The bunt, however, is laid down. What a play from Shadow Mountain and number 14. Again, we don't have his name, but that was extremely heads up to where we had a runner stealing home before the windup of Gautier. And no matter where the pitch was, he tried to barrel it up. He did, and that allowed the runner in Marshall to score easily. What a play from Shadow Mountain.
Yeah, perfect timing on Marshall's part and on the batter's part. Beautifully worked out to tie up the game here in the top of the sixth.
And that's a play that can be really dangerous also because let's say if you're trying to take a full swing at it. Oh, and they're doing it again also. They don't do it that time. Loya trying to evade the catcher in Macau, not able to, so he's retired. And Shadow Mountain's as aggressive as Thunderbird is on the base pass, so just like that, there are 2 outs, but the score now at 4 apiece. And I want to touch on that initial stealing of home the first time as Gautier misses high and inside. In terms of a full swing being made at the plate and the catcher coming out towards home plate to try to get the runner, that could be a really dangerous situation where there's a full swing and potentially you hit the catcher. But it worked to perfection and by design for Shadow Mountain on the bunt that was laid down. And even though the batter was out, the runner was easily able to score as the throw couldn't even get down to home. Here's the 2-1 from Gautier. That ball's chopped over to first base, but foul. Anderson able to field. And staying alive at the plate is Chaplik. Jackson Wren, the leadoff batter in the hole for the Matadors, and Jack Zahner, the pitcher, to follow. The 2-2 just outside at knee level to bump the count to 3-2. Full count, 2 away. Tie ball game at 4-4 here at the home of the Thunderbird Titans. The payoff, the pitch, strike 3. Backdoor curveball that time from Gautier to get out of the inning, but not before surrendering a run on a steal of home by Marshall and Shadow Mountain. 4-4 game at Thunderbird. Don't go anywhere as we head to the bottom of the 6th after a break.
It started in the city.
It started on a sandlot.
It started on a Sunday.
The focus.
The drive.
The dream.
You knew how it felt.
You knew we needed the tools necessary.
You knew we needed funds to travel to tournaments.
You provided me with the best equipment.
You gave me opportunity.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Back here in the bottom of the 6th, 4-4 ball game. I told you guys not to go anywhere. It's getting as exciting as ever. There was back-to-back stolen base attempts for Shadow Mountain. It worked to perfection the first time, Ella. It was a beautiful bunt laid down, and that's how the runner was able to score. They did it a second time, and it didn't work so well necessarily. But for Shadow Mountain, you tied the game up, and it gives your team another opportunity, potentially in extra innings.
Yeah, definitely an interesting move to try to do it again, but at least it worked for them enough to tie up the game and do what they needed to do. So it's definitely a tight game in the last part here.
Again, bottom of the 6th, it's Zahner on the mound in his second frame of work. He took over for Joey Mine after going 4 innings. And it's a 4-4 game heading towards crunch time. The 0-1 to Cohill catching the inside corner for strike 2. Cohill already with a hit today. Looking for another one. The 0-2 just outside, popping in and out of the glove of Marshall behind the plate for Shadow Mountain. We've seen a couple of changes in the infield as well as the outfield, including the pitcher and Zahner for Shadow Mountain, but none so far for the home side Titans. 1-2 from Zahner. That one's hit through for a base hit into the 4-hole. And Cohill able to reach first for the second time today. It's a great start for the Titans as they try to retake the lead once again. And as they have in the other innings, this is the part of the lineup that you want up. In Austin Coates, already with a pair of hits and RBI. Coates was last time up with a double all the way to the left center wall. Cohill a decent lead at first. No check down to start it. Good play by Marshall behind the plate as that one was bounced in the dirt to put the count at 1-0. Third baseman Donathan on deck. Pre-McCow, the catcher in the hole. And anticipating the bunt at third base is Loya playing the short infield grass. Oh, and they called a balk, actually. So a pickoff attempt leads to a balk. And Cohill stands on second.
That's something you don't really see quite often. I mean, even in the big leagues, you don't see that quite often.
No, you don't. And it moves the runner into scoring position at second. Still no outs here. And another wild pitch that time that moves Cohill over to third. And there was Marshall corralling that wild pitch that went off the backstop right in front of LNI here in the broadcast booth. And just 90 feet away is now Cohill at third base. For people not familiar with the balk, it's a pickoff attempt that the pitcher makes, but it's an illegal move that isn't called often, as Ella already mentioned, but it was called on Zahner here as he delivers a strike to put the count at 2-1.
Yeah, and just like that, Cohill is so close to home with no outs and a tied game.
Big lead at second. He goes about 3/4 of the way down to home as he now retreats. And the count now moves to 3-1. All the infielders also in, not only just the corners, but at second base and Chaplik and also Seibert at short. 3-1 offering. Outside corner strike to put the count at 3-2. And with no outs, even a ground out could advance the runner and Cohill home. And a big moment to retake the lead, and that would put Thunderbird in position when they take the mound with just 3 more outs to get, and that hits Coates that time. Not very happy about it, or rather, yes, Coates. So Cohill still stands at third, and that brings in the third baseman Hunter Donathan in the batter's box. That was a big moment for Shadow Mountain to potentially get the first out. Coates is going to shake it off. Holding out that left shoulder area to where he was hit by Zahner. He stands on first. Cohill at third. Donathan at the plate. And the Titans looking to take the lead once again. And as I mentioned, if Shadow Mountain's able to come up to the plate and they're down even just a run, they'd be down to just their last 3 outs. First pitch from Zahner downstairs and away for ball 1.
Yeah, perfect situation for the Titans here. You know, you have runners on the corners, no outs, and Donathan at base with a single his last time up. And let's see if he can do it again.
Enfield in on the corners as well, not at second and shortstop. As the count now moves to 2-0, ball in and out of the glove of Marshall behind the plate, but not too far away to advance the runner, both runners, but especially that lead runner and Cohill at third. The 2-0 right down Broadway for strike 1. Zahner battling back to Donathan at the plate. The catcher and Pre-McCow on deck. Gautier, the pitcher, who still remains in the game after 6 innings of 4-run ball in the hole. 2-1 from Zahner. That one's on the ground. Corralled. They get the runner at second base and the force onto first. Did he get him? I didn't see a sign from the umpire. I think he was able to reach. So it's going to be a fielder's choice after Coates is retired on the base pass Great job from Zonner there to hold the runner, also Ella, at third base in Cohill.
Yeah, definitely. Although the runner on first was safe, it was a great move. They were able to get an out, and they were able to stop the Titans and not allow them to score just yet.
So the same situation as last time. Runners on the corners. One away now, however. That ball is ripped foul, however. Third baseline. Zonner still working in the stretch. 0-1 count, one away. A massive out that he had to get the force out at second base. The 0-1 foul tipped off the end of the bat. First baseline, and he's down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes is the catcher, Primacao.
Primacao hasn't really been able to do much at the plate tonight with 1-3 in the second inning and a strikeout his last time up at bat. So hopefully here he can change his narrative tonight.
These are what clutch moments are made of. Primacao at the plate. The 0-2, that one's bounced. But what a play by the catcher and Marshall as he throws down, but it gets away. And Cohill's going to score. I was just commending his efforts in stopping it, and it was risky to throw it down to second base to try to get that out. And even if you get it, it wouldn't end the inning. Cohill had the opportunity to score, and he did just that.
Yeah, seems like it was a bit of an impulse move to try to get the runner at second, and it's not always the best move when you have a runner at third with only 1 out and the bottom of the 6th in such a close game, and the Titans now have the lead with that.
That ball gets away from Marshall. Didn't know where it was at first, and then he corralled it. And that moves the count to 2-2 now. Again, he did a good job of keeping it in front of him on the bouncer from Zonner on the mound. And then he tried late to get the runner, and Donathan at second was unable to. And then it got into the outfield. The even offering, that one's hit in the air. Foul territory, moving over. Was a third baseman all the way back and unable to get it as it went into foul territory out of play. And we'll do it again with the count level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A big, massive run on the board for the Titans at home, putting them in a position, no matter how this inning ends, to where Shadow Mountain's down to their final 3 outs when they go to bat next. It's a 2-2 downstairs and away for ball 3. The runner at second base is Donathan. At the plate is Primacao. Gautier, the pitcher, is on deck for the Titans. 3-2. That one's laced into right center field. It gets down. He's heading for second. Donathan scores. It's an RBI single from Primacao, and it's 6-4 Titans.
A perfect time to get your first hit of the game right here and an RBI to make it 6-4 and make the Titans have a bit more of a comfortable lead going into the 7th.
We got to change at first base too. So Primacao's day is done. Replacing him is number 14, Jerry Kerchek. And he darts for second as well. The throw down, not in time. He slid onto the tag. It was a good throw behind the plate by Marshall. And that's going to be a stolen base for Kerchek just entering the game, Ella. And actually, pardon me, Jaden Kerchek. He has a brother in Jerry, but that's Jaden. Ball's on the ground towards third. What? Umpire signals that he fouled it off his foot, and wincing at the play was Gautier, but he's going to stay in the game. Didn't see it at first, but obviously just telling by his reaction that's exactly what happened. Zahner with one out, working with a 1-1 count at first. The guy that took over for Primacao, who got the RBI, and now stands on second after a stolen base in Kerchek. Zahner taking a look at Jaden Kerchek with a big lead at second base. He fires down to home. Big swing and a miss at first. Rather not at first, but at the plate, bumping the count now to a ball and 2 strikes. 6-4 lead now for Thunderbird. Zahner did a good job early on of holding off Cohill for the longest time at third base. He came in to score after the errant throw from Marshall to second base went into the outfield. The 1-2 called strike 3. Frozen at the batter's box was Gautier, and Danson and Pranson at second, and moving back there is Kerchek.
Kind of confusing little end to that at bat there. It seemed like everybody was a little bit frozen and the ball just kind of got lobbed over to the pitcher, which is not the greatest move with a player on second.
So no swing at the plate from Gautier. The ball popped in and out of the glove of Marshall, and Kerchek on his toes, almost headed towards third as Zahner delivers strike 1. Matthew Hornberg at the plate for his third time at the top of the lineup, and the dangerous and lethal Noah Anderson, the first baseman, doing well offensively and defensively on the whole. Ball's put on the ground towards third. Loya fires across his body, not in time. Head first slide from Hornberg. That was aggressive, and it pays off, and there's runners in the corners, and they extend the inning, and that brings up exactly who you want at the plate in Noah Anderson.
Yeah, an uncomfortable slide into first. Not normally what you see, but it paid off for Hornberg.
Yeah, he was hustling his way down and tried to beat out that great throw also at third base from Loya across his body. Able to field it cleanly before that, too. First pitch from Zahner, downstairs and away, gets away, and that's going to bring in another runner to score. Head first slide. Rounding second, heading towards third. The throw is there, not in time. That gets away into the dugout. And just like that, this score is 8-4 for the Titans.
Wow. What a
chain of events.
Yeah.
I think that was what you were looking for, right?
Yeah. The Titans have just been so aggressive all game on the bases, and obviously it's paid off. And now they've doubled their lead here in the 6th, just what they need to finish out this game.
And you saw the celebration in the Thunderbird dugout. That was a great shot by our cameraman and Ben Munawera over there, as the ball is going to sail foul into third base territory, or fair rather, out of my vantage point. And Anderson stands on second. From our vantage point in the broadcast booth, it's impossible to see anything that's hugging towards the left field line. I assumed it was foul, but Anderson with another double today. He stands on second, and the floodgates have completely been let open, and it's 8-4 for the Titans. Continuing this inning, and I said bringing up Noah Anderson to the plate was going to do wonders, and he delivered. Didn't necessarily bring the runner home to score. A couple of errors for Shadow Mountain, and self-inflicted wounds did that to themselves. But again, he continues to extend this long inning for Zahner and Shadow Mountain. That ball's flown out into right center field. Under it and making the catch is Wren to finally end the inning, but not before an exciting end to the inning and a couple of errors that led to some runs on the board for the Titans, and not just a 1-run lead or 2-run lead, but a 4-run lead heading into the top of the 7th. Shadow Mountain down to the last 3 outs. Don't go anywhere. Taking the ball once again is Gautier, working potentially on a complete game.
Make every day game day and never miss a moment from your favorite team with the AZ Preps 365 Live High School Sports app. The official app for all Arizona high school sports teams gives fans instant access to up-to-the-minute scores, news, highlights, and much more. Customize the app to fit your needs. whether you're a student, coach, parent, or player. Download it now for free. Available in both the Google Play Store and Apple App Store.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Well, for the 7th time today, Zach Gauthier getting the ball for the Thunderbird Titans to start out every inning, as he does so here in the top of the 7th, looking to close out the game after what was a 4-4 score, Ella, heading into the bottom of the 6th. A couple of self-inflicted wounds, and it's 8-4.
Yeah, they just completely turned around that game in the bottom of the 6th. I mean, it was just what they needed to have a comfortable lead here in the top of the 7th for Gauthier to close this out.
And now it's more than comfortable, and even a commanding lead, I'll say, as the ball's hit the other way. Foul off the bat at Jackson Wren. Pitcher's count here for Gauthier. Officially, he let up 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, 1 in the bottom of the 6th. Every other inning has been 0 so far. That pitch well outside, missing the mark. And the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And it's going to be up for grabs, Ella. If Thunderbird wins, whoever you interview, it could potentially be maybe Noah Anderson, who's had a great day defensively and offensively, or Gauthier potentially going all 7 innings and closing out a very wild and epic game here at the home of the Thunderbird Titans. Still have some work to do, getting 3 outs, a 2-2 downstairs and inside, and that's going to put the count at 3-2. Wren with a good eye at the plate, initially down 0-2. 3 straight balls, moves the count to full. Here's the payoff. That ball's hit on the ground, over to shortstop, a couple hops, bobbled onto first. That throw is errant. And luckily, there's some netting right in front of the Shadow Mountain dugout. If there wasn't, it could have gone into the dugout, and that could have led to another base for Wren, but he stands on first, and that should be a hit. There was a couple bobbles at shortstops. I would rule it a hit, and it looks like it's going to remain on 2 errors for both Thunderbird and Shadow Mountain, but potentially a late game rally for Shadow Mountain, and it's a pitcher and Zahner at the plate, ahead on the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Working in the stretches, Gauthier, the pitch. That one's fouled and chopped over towards the Thunderbird dugout. That's going to put the count at 1-1. Zahner at the plate. Joey Mine, the initial pitcher that moved to center field. He's in the hole, already with 2 hits today. And then after that is Trenton Siebert. The pitch hits off the home plate. That's going to move Wren over to second base easily. Not exactly what you want, Ella, to start off the inning if you're the Titans on a 4-run lead.
Exactly. Although they have a 4-run lead, they can't get too carried away with the fact that they have such a big lead, because as we saw in the last inning, things can quickly get carried away.
Grounded over to second base. They get the out at first. Wren moves over to third. Just 2 more outs to potentially close it up for the Titans. The runner just 90 feet away is Wren again at third base. And here's Joey Mine. First pitch from Gauthier. Low and outside for ball 1. Mine again with 2 hits. He also pitched 4 innings for Shadow Mountain. And he allowed 3 of the 8 runs on the board for Thunderbird as Gauthier sizzles a strike that catches the outer black to put the count level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield and outfield behind Gauthier playing at normal depth. The pitch, that one's chopped in the air, foul. And one of the coaches in the dugout area for Thunderbird able to make the catch. Not going to result in an out in this one, just 2 more. Once again for the Titans to escape with a victory. They were down early in the game. And then a wild bottom of the 6th. Open up the floodgates, as I mentioned. That one chopped again, foul, third baseline. And out of the confines of the field. Jackson Wren, the right fielder for Shadow Mountain, stands on third. He was able to reach after an infield single as Mine lays off that pitch, and that levels the count at 2 apiece. Heading towards the middle of the lineup for Shadow Mountain, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A massive out from Gauthier. He doesn't look tired one bit. He's now through 6 2/3. Just 1 more to shut the door. Siebert takes high and outside for ball 1. 2 runs able to score on 1 error that came in the bottom of the 6th, and then a run after that as well. Makes it a 4-run lead for the Titans. It was tied up at 4 before that. And it's a 2-0 count here for Gauthier. That ball smashed into center field for a base hit. Scoring easily is Wren. So Siebert able to extend the game. It's an 8-5 lead now for the Thunderbirds. Excuse me, for the Titans. And with just 1 more out, Coach Jacobs comes out of the dugout. For Thunderbird, is he going to look towards someone else to get the final out, or is he going to roll with Gauthier that's gone 6 2/3? Yeah, he's going to stay. He's going to leave his guy in to get the final out, and it would be a great performance in the end, allowing 5 runs, but the offense has done about as great of a job as you can to tack on 8 runs, putting Gauthier, the pitcher, in a winning situation, and he has a hit of his own too. So great performance all around from Adam Gauthier. First pitch right down Broadway, center cut over the plate for strike 1. Siebert on first after the RBI single up the middle. 0-1, swing and a miss downstairs on that curveball. Able to get Forkham, the DH, out in front. And just 1 more pitch to slam the door potentially for Gauthier. Oh, and it actually hits Forkham and extends the game once more. And it looks like Gauthier is going to go to the bench. He doesn't finish out the complete game after he hits Forkham, but it draws a standing ovation from people behind home base. A nice job from Gauthier. Looks like they're going to turn to somebody else to try to get the final out. And before that, we're going to head to a quick break on the Varsity Sports Show.
Bruno! Bruno! Pup on the run? No problem. With 5 drive modes, road makes this a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get the 2023 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy among gas engines.
It started in the city.
It started on a sandlot.
It started on a Sunday.
The focus.
The drive.
The dream.
You knew how it felt.
You knew we needed the tools necessary.
You knew we needed funds to travel to tournaments.
You provided me with the best equipment.
You gave me opportunity.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, after 6 2/3, a new pitcher enters the game to try to shut the door and get the final out. And Coach Jacobs for Thunderbird calls on Patrick Ramon coming off of the bench. No plate appearances. His lone job to get the final out. First pitch right down the middle for strike one. The Titans giving the Matadors a different look with Ramon out of the left side. Runners on first and second for Shadow Mountain. Swing and a miss. That puts the count at no balls and 2 strikes. Siebert stands on second. Forkham on first. 8-5 ball game for Thunderbird. 0-2 count for Ramon. The pitch. Outside for ball one. Infield and outfield playing at their normal depth. Sizable leads from the runners on second and first. That pitch is grounded hard foul into the Thunderbird dugout. And staying alive at the plate is Shadow Mountain as well as in this game. One, two from Ramon. Lost control of it a little bit outside on an off-speed pitch that moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 8-5 lead for the Titans. The pitch from Ramon. Swing and a miss, strike 3 in the dirt. To make sure the out, Primacao tags out the batter, and that will do it here in an 8-5 victory for the Thunderbird Titans over the Shadow Mountain Matadors. Highlight performances from Adam Gauthier on the mound, going 6 2/3 out of 7 innings, unable to get the final out. He allowed 5 runs to 8 on the board for the Titans, and it amounted into a victory, and Ramon able to get the very last out via the punch-out. For Ella Walter Sanchez, RJ Villacourt doing a great job producing. Ben Munaware on one camera. John Melendez on another camera. I'm Kobe Bronstein saying so long, and an 8-5 victory for Thunderbird on the Varsity Sports Show.